Okay, this is a video showing all the interaction with Nikki Wang. She works for Eaget company, so this could help the mediator or Alibaba's representative to assess well the situation. So I received the cards with some issues with the FedEx. They tried to charge more fees for non-census services, but after all I pay the extra fees and I start reporting issues of performance right away to Nikki Wong. So this is the first communication. I show that the micro SD cards, they were not delivering close to 80 megabytes per second read speeds, but rather low speed of under 20 megabytes per second. And this compared to an old card that I bought from the same brand that was even cheaper and less and slower. In the description, that card was faster, was giving close to 30 megabytes speed there in reading operations. So I communicate with Nikki all this. I made mention about the performance issue. Then I took a while because I got sick. I got my children, both grown-up children, sick. I have to watch over them, and also myself I got with the flu. So I came back a few days, almost a week late, and I continue reporting that I use another tool, not their tool, the Windows tool they used. I used a Linux tool to measure speed. That shouldn't be a problem, but Nikki insisted that I should use that tool. And also I tried to find the reference to the speed in their product description page, but interestingly that was removed after I interact with Nikki. And I know that they changed it because also in our interchanges I also it says here that advise her to modify the shipping options for the company to make it more attractive to potential buyers, and they did so. So I know that they actioned what I suggested to them. Unfortunately, they removed the mention to the speed column up to 80 megabytes per second. And this was frustrating for me because I wanted to provide that as evidence in my refund complaint, but fortunately enough I found in their video that is associated with this product, I found briefly in almost at the end of the video. I cannot see here, I will enlarge this so you can see almost at the end. Unfortunately it doesn't say here. Second 24, a mention in Chinese about the speed advertised. So they say in that page there is 96 something megabytes per second in read and almost 20 megabytes per second in write speed, which is something good if they can, very good if they can deliver this. So I provide this in my refund request, and also I mentioned this to Nikki, and she took another strategy. Then she started. Sorry, I should have put this. I will start all over here, just to show the comments of Nikki. So concerning for the feedback of the poor performance, she replied this. Poor performance, she replied, thank you for your feedback. Concerning the same problem with the cards, more descriptive, she just wanted to confirm that we were talking about 32 gigabytes card. Okay, then after I sent the video information, she asked me, started to inquire what kind of software I was using. I already told him long before that I was using a Linux version utility to measure, the um, the speed. And I told her right away, I see where this is going because other vendors in AliExpress they use the same strategy. Oh no, the tool they're using is not good enough, blah 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 blah, and that's just BS because all the tools do more or less the same thing. So when I told her these things, she replied. She said that they didn't have information that they changed that I apparently I replied that I was planning to request a refund because full refund because this is not uh, it's not serious for a company to try to cover up evidence by removing the product description, blah blah blah. And also that they are trying to lead me to a situation where my software or speed measurement method is not good, where indeed it is good. So and I told her that I expected a different behavior from that company. So she insisted that they don't have anything to change and that their products are very good. And now she said that they will never cover up the speed of the cards, which are, nowadays you cannot find in the product description. Interestingly, in my refund request, the person who managed that replied with a picture showing the speed up to 80 megabits per second in read speed. So something something at least I achieved that they recognize that they advertise that as the speed, um, and that's okay. And then she sent me a software, but sent me a software for 32 bits and for Windows. And well, two problems there because they insist on using that software, and I don't use I should not use Windows if I am using Linux, so they should send me a Linux equivalent, not a Windows equivalent, and 32 bits software, which is very old software. You will barely find any Windows computer running in a 32 bits architecture nowadays. All of them are 64 bits or more, or more modern processors. So she asked me to use this software. I replied to her, and she just repositioned her company. That is a very good company for 18 years. I could agree that the products are sturdy, but this lot that I received is not good. And I told her this the software you sent me is not good for my Windows 7, which is an old machine, but still is not good because that Windows 7 Ultimate uses 64-bit implementation. Anyways, I used the different tools in Linux, and I sent her the link, the alternative to the software they used, and I used disks, and I show her the link and the results again, showing the results that this should not be way different from their software. Um, and again, it was frustrating because it was like talking along. Okay, so I told her I feel fairly treated, that you're abusing the process. You should recognize that you sent defective products or maybe not products according to the description, and that's the situation. And she replied, and they didn't cover up the matter. The read-write speed is within the normal range. I agree with that. It's within the normal range of a normal product, but they advertise the product as superior at the competitors. It's not because of product performance problem. I think it is because product performance problems. And yeah, she uses some arguments. They are true. They might vary from different computer environments, etc., and the parameters of the software when you test. That's true. But the bottom line is that the micro SD cards are slower than the speed they advertise, and they are no different to any ordinary very low profile card, a class 10 U1 card, maybe 10 years old card technology. So this is the reply, and that's the last interaction, I guess. I just wrote here that That's what I wrote today. That I already found the 64-bit version of their software, that I use that software to test the speed, and it's the same as I got in my Linux tools. And worse, that out of the 10 cards, 32 gigabytes card that I bought, 4 are bad, and one of the 64 gigabytes cards failed at the first attempt to use. So I'm pretty much disappointed of the products received. I think they are all defective. It's a batch that is mostly a second selection that they sent, expecting that will be used by a person that doesn't really works in IT. But I work in IT, and I know what parameters and performance are. I've been working more than 25 years in IT, out of it probably 10 years in computer support, supporting desktop, server, Windows environments. And in the last 15 or more years, I've been working primarily in Linux desktop environments, because I like it more in my work, daily work, because I work as a project manager for IT projects. I use Windows as well. So I am savvy in technology, and I know that this company is trying to abuse this situation with the regular users who might be unaware of what speeds are and things like that. Thank you.